bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-da-da-dum bum bum ba-dum ba-ba-dum. I'm not going to sing any longer because you've been listening to that melody for quite some time now. Hello, my friends from Oklahoma. There's Angela and Kathy. Hi, Kathy. And we've got some folks from, hi, Bob and Deb Dunbar from Kentucky. Hello, my friends. Hello from Western Australia. That's Tara. We've got a lot of Australians who join us. Hello from Ohio. These are my mighties over here, and over here are my Facebook Live friends. Wonderful to see you all. Hi from Maine and Wisconsin and Texas and Ohio. Hi, Francine. Hi, Lynn from Los Angeles. It's so good to see. Yes. Oh, these are my mighties. Yes, it's wonderful to see you all, my mighties. Hello from Ohio, says Vernice. It's wonderful to see you. Good evening. Hi, Claire from Virginia. Hi from Florida, says Bonnie. It's wonderful. Connecticut. Hi, Mia. And Carla from Wisconsin. Hello, everyone. It's wonderful to see you. We are on Facebook. We're on X. We're on Rumble. Yes, we're on YouTube. We're on Mighties and soon to be on Instagram. We're taking this all the way, my friends. As far as we can take it. So I ask you, please like and share and comment and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really will make a difference. And then do tell your friends about this, because I do this specifically just to get the world up to snuff in homeopathy. Hi from Ajax, Ontario. That's Rana. I think it's Rona. Hi, Rona. And also hello from Ontario is, I think it's Nellie. Wonderful to see you from Ontario. And Central Texas comes Peggy. So tonight, what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about addictions again. Let's carry on with our addiction subject. And this time I want to focus on specific medicine. One medicine, which I think is so ubiquitous and so powerful that it requires, I think, a whole night. And I know you're going to be asking other questions and potencies and frequencies and all of that business. And there's something that I see going on with this medicine when I bring it up. When someone has an addiction, they just can't believe, or someone in their family has an addiction, they just can't believe that it's possible that this medicine could do such good work. But my friends, I have seen it do good work. So we're going to take a little break, and I just have to show this to you because I'm so happy to show you Pasaporte a la Homeopática Práctica. We are now in Español. Isn't that? Oh, let's see if we've got it. Yep. We've got our Gateway to Homeopathy in Español, and we will soon be launching classes in Español as well. I've been dubbed for some time. I have someone who actually, I don't know if you've ever seen it on Facebook. She dubs it. It actually looks like I'm speaking perfect Spanish, Castilian Spanish. It's really exciting. It's really wonderful to see. So I wanted to share that with you. And then I also want to tell you that tonight I'm going to be reading from my Materia Medica. From this medicine that we're going to be talking about that I've not revealed yet. And that's my Materia Medica. So if you're so inclined, you might want to follow along. If you don't have it, then you might want to purchase it. You just go to Joette's Learning Center, no apostrophe, Joette's Learning Center, and you can get this book. And tonight we're going to talk about, I'll bet you were thinking we were going to talk about Nux Vomica, right? Because that's what everyone thinks of when they think of overuse of drugs. So Nancy says the sound is cutting out. Anyone else? Anyone having any trouble? It doesn't sound to me like it sound good only when talking directly into the mic. So that's what I will do. Thank you. That does help me a great deal. No, lots of people are saying no, they're having no trouble at all hearing me. Sound is fine, sound is good. Okay, good. Good. Glad to hear it. So, this medicine sounds so simple, so pure, so lovely, so common, that people might interpret that to mean that it's insipid, that it doesn't have a punch, that it doesn't have an ability. But my friends, this is one of our best medicines, and it is Avena, Avena, sativa, Sativa. Now, why would we think that it's just, too common to have any value? Well, because it's made from oat. It's oats, common oats. Sometimes on the bottle you might see it in the old days when I used to buy this medicine more frequently. And it's great for, I'll explain to you why I would buy it. Not because I'm addicted or was addicted. But it would say oat straw. Oat straw. Now, I believe that there is, it's because I move so much, says Angela. I know. I'm sorry. I really tried. I try to stay calm about these subjects, but I can't help myself because it is these subjects are so fascinating that it animates me. So, it depends on who you're purchasing it from. I prefer, if you're a student or client of mine, I like OHM Pharma. I like Helios in England. I like many pharmacies. If we're buying it in tincture, in a bottle like this, in a liquid bottle. I also like Herb Pharm. That's spelled Herb, Pharm. Hawaiian, I can never remember that. Hawaiian Herbs, I think it is. Also a good company that I've counted on, at least so far. And I always say so far because these lovely, especially botanical companies, are often purchased by large conglomerates. And we have to be careful of that. If one of our herb companies is purchased by Colgate, we might want to think twice about using that product from that time forward. What did I say? Gaia, Gaia is also a company that I've trusted, an herbal company. And so I'm going to read to you tonight from my Materia Medica, so that it's a very short version of this medicine, and then I'm going to expound on it a little bit further. So this is what I've written. Avena sativa, common oat. The keynote, meaning one of the main issues, one of the main aids, or something that we want to commit to memory, the keynote is sleeplessness caused by nerves. But also I'm going to go further and tell you that it's more than that, obviously. It is also one of our best medicines to help people get off of drugs, certain kinds of drugs. We'll talk about it in a moment. So because the curative action of this remedy is directed toward the brain and central nervous system, it is particularly useful for sleeplessness caused by nervousness and anxious exhaustion, insomnia in those who abuse alcohol or drugs. So there we go. When we see that someone has a drug addiction, this is one of our best medicines, specifically when there's a central nervous system issue going on. And of course there would be, because that's exactly what the drugs do. But particularly when there's sleeplessness and agitation. Okay, so Avena sativa. The mind is often unable to focus, as you can imagine when someone is addicted to a drug, or if they're not, and it's simple insomnia, on any one subject, and there may be a tension headache. Additionally, Avena sativa is helpful for various types of performance anxiety. So it's a central nervous system remedy. It's very, very powerful. I've used Avena sativa in tandem with other homeopathic medicines to aid in uprooting addictions, such as those stemming from street and prescription drugs, as well as coffee, and chocolate because of its ability to calm the nervous beast, otherwise known as dependency. So that's my small segment in my Materia Medica. Now let's go to another source, shall we? Let's go to, I'm going to go to this. You're going to see how beat up this book is. I've shown it to you in the past. This is the Concordant Materia Medica by Franz Vermeulen, and you can see what a mess mine is. Yeah, it's old. And I've actually had it formulated once, and now this is the what's happened since that time. So, and then one time my father tried to repair it for me, and that's how we got this little bubble of glue here to rebind it. Okay, so I want to read to you some sections that I believe is very important. Action on the brain and nervous system. Very, very important. It's specific for morphine habit. But, my friends, it's easy to assume that this medicine couldn't possibly act. It sounds too delicate, doesn't have as much of a punch. For example, if we think of nux vomica, we know that comes from poison nut, and its power often is the substance from which the medicine is derived and then diluted many times, can give us an indication of how powerful that medicine can be. Yet, in this particular one, with the Avena sativa, simply oat, we see that same ability, in spite of the fact that it's simply oat. So you would think that you would need to fight fire with fire, right? It would have to be something much more powerful to help someone break a morphine habit, or to break any kind of street drug habit. So what we're looking for so far is insomnia, anxiety, nervousness, inability to fall asleep or stay asleep. Let's see what else we can put together that's part of this picture, okay? Okay, nervous states of many female troubles as well. So if the female trouble is concomitant with an addiction, then that will add another value to this particular medicine. But even if there is no addiction, we can still use this medicine. I want you to remember that what I'm giving you is a overview of what this medicine, Avena sativa, can do, with an emphasis on addictions, because that's what we've been talking about for some time. Inability to keep the mind on any one subject, especially when due to masturbation. It is also a very good medicine when we see that habit is occurring, particularly in men. And when we see that along with this problem, when we know that that's what's occurring, along with this problem of trying to get someone off of an addictive drug, this can be our medicine, Avena sativa. Okay. Can often have a nervous headache too. It's very important that you consider that as well. Now, there are female problems, amenorrhea, dysmenorrhea, but I really want you to know that those exist in a description of how this medicine can be used, but that's not what we're going to focus on today. Instead, we're going to focus on its ability, Avena sativa's ability, to uproot drug addictions that are central nervous system, wrought in central nervous system problems. So it's for heroin, any drug abuse, impotency. I'm looking at my own notes. Opium, morphine, addictions in general. There can be tremendous weakness. Particularly if there is a masturbation habit, my friends, that often can result in weakness. So it's drug addiction of any drug that is of the central nervous system, but particularly morphine or heroin. Wild, isn't it? Who would ever think this lowly little oat could be so useful? Now, let's talk about its use. How it's used is Avena sativa can be used in tincture form, as in alcohol like this. Of course, now it's alcohol. And if someone has an addiction to alcohol, that might not be the best way to use it. Addiction to marijuana. Yes, my friends, I know I've actually used it in a couple of cases, and it has been helpful. And the way that we use it is we use between 5 and 10 drops from a bottle like this, and we squeeze the top, the pipette, the rubber segment, and it draws up from the pipette about between 10 and 20 drops, and then it's put in water and then drunk. Now, you don't have to put it in a whole glass. You can put it in just an ounce of water. And I would suggest that it be used minimum twice a day. If need be, 3 times a day. Now, this is in tincture form, my friends. This is not homeopathic. It's botanical. So it's an excellent medicine in homeopathic formula as well. And then we would use it in a 3C, 3X, 6C, 6X. We could use it in 5, 7, 12, 30, 200. We can use it in many different potencies. I have used it in a 30 most frequently. I like it in a 30. Can't say I know why, but I've seen it act. Do you have to use water? No, one does not need to use water. But it is, many people don't like the taste, and so I think it would be useful to put it in water. And if we were using it in a 30th potency, or a 3, a 6, a 12, even a 5 or 7, a 9, even those lower potencies, we would put it in the mouth without water, and we would put it under the tongue. For those of you who understand how to use homeopathy, once it has a number after it, 3X, 3C, then now we know it's made homeopathically. And then there are pilules, and they're put under the tongue and held there. Now, a lot of times people simply chew them. Is that a problem? Probably not. But if you really want to get this full measure, sometimes we really insist. It depends on how important it is that we get this into the system as quickly as possible. So how long can someone use something like this? Can they use it for, what, a week? 2 months? 6 months? 10 months? A year? I believe this can be used for a long period of time. Weeks, months, even a year, even 2 years. And if the person stops using it and they find that they're falling back into the addiction, it's time to come right back into it again. And if it is a morphine or a very heavy or heroin addiction, then we're going to use this medicine in such a way that we're just when the person is craving, that is the time that we're going to use it more readily. So let's see what kind of questions we have here. Yes, addiction to marijuana, but I also like cannabis sativa and cannabis indica homeopathically for addiction to marijuana. And my friends, for those of you who don't believe it, yes, marijuana is addictive. We know that. You need to know that. You need to know it's not something that, what's the big deal? Let's just... Look, I'm not telling you everyone who uses it is addicted, but it does cause an addiction. Okay, somebody was asking about... so would you use Avena 30 twice a day? Yes, that's how we'd use it. Avena sativa 30C 2D, 2 times a day, or BID, sometimes it's written, or it's written in the medical world. Or weird question. Autism often is described as having opioid effect. Dilated eyes, out of touch with reality, etc. Could this be used? Banerjee protocol for autism really didn't work well, even after 6 months. First of all, let me say this. Didn't work, flat out didn't work, or didn't work well enough. So I'm going to pick apart your words because it is important that you think about that a little bit. Because even if there's a small change, I would not abandon it. Now, can a Vena Sativa help? If there are other, you open up your Materia Medica and you read a Vena Sativa, and when you finish, read it again. And read it with your child in mind. And then read it again so that you really understand the essence of this medicine. You do that anytime you're going to choose a medicine. And if it seems to fit, not just because of the eyes, what you had just described, the dilated eyes and out of touch with reality. I would say that this is a medicine that could be useful. I don't know that it would uproot it, but I have seen autism uprooted completely and thoroughly, no longer in existence. And we also want to consider food intolerances, chemical exposures. Are there pesticides being sprayed on the lawn nearby? My guess is that's not so for you, but these are questions we must ask. Is the child getting candy with dye in it from grandma or grandpa coming over and not realizing how important it is that the child have clean food that does not have additives that can have neurotoxic responses? Alrighty. Cheyenne from Santa Fe says, and cannabis sativa. Yes, people are asking. Okay. Can you mix the homeopathics with water? There are ways to use homeopathy. Some people swear by mixing the homeopathics in water, and that Joe Pathy does that, my colleague and friend. And there are times when I believe that it should be used in water. And there are those who say across the board, ubiquitously, it absolutely must be put in water, or that's maybe not absolutely, but that it is the most efficacious method. Yes, I think some people have a point. I prefer, however, my friends, that if I'm working with a pharmacy that I trust, and I only work with a pharmacy that I trust, I'm going to do exactly as they've written on the outside of the bottle, because they know their product and they know it well. So let me also say this. By putting a homeopathic medicine in water, we're changing something. Do we want to change something? Do we not trust that the medicine will work in the mouth, under the tongue, or even just chewed if, let's say, it's an animal and you're not going to be able to get them to hold it under their tongue? Do we believe that it's not good enough and that we are going to make it better? I'm afraid that is not the way that I think. I think that the good quality homeopathic pharmacies are giving us their best shot by telling us exactly how to administer their medicines. So I don't do that. Unless now let's say my nails are looking a little, I don't know, friable. They're cracking. And I want to take homeopathic medicine for that. And let's say I decide to use, say, silica, say 6X. If I put it in water, will it work? It may indeed work. But it doesn't really matter that much, does it? Because we're only talking about the fingernails. We're not talking about someone who's hemorrhaging or someone who's suffering horribly from rheumatoid arthritis. Or we're not talking about someone who is got a otitis media that is so painful they can barely stand it. So, in a nutshell, we can play around with these remedies and put them in water. We can try it this way or that way. But in a pinch, for my money, for my time, my friends, I'm going to always do exactly as the pharmacy that I trust tells me is the best way to use their particular product. Boron's still good? You bet boron's good, yes. OHM, boron, Helios, Washington, Hahnemann Pharmacy, And there are others. Those are just the ones that always come to mind for me because those are the ones I've used time and again through the years. Yes, there are several materia medicals available online. Hahnemann said that the Vital Force could respond better to a slight change in potency, 4th edition water doses, and later his LM potencies. And then later on in his letters, he went back again. So he does talk about LM potencies in that edition, but then later on he returns back again. Would love to access digital version of the Materia Medica on the membership page like Gateway and other courses. Okay. Also cannabis indica, cannabis sativa, cannabis indica, and let's see what else, what other questions you have. I can't find cannabis indica at OHM or elsewhere. Do you know why? Does anyone know why this is hard to find on a list at a homeopathic pharmacy? Maybe you want to just help Carrie understand that. Okay, the first time I cut what can help for numb toes and feet after back surgery. Okay, we're not going to cover that tonight. I'm sorry. And let's see. So how long do we use this medicine for? For as long as you need it. If the person is improving after a couple months, that they're finding, and I will tell you that people very rarely understand that the subtlety of homeopathy. Unless they've experienced it a number of times, they'll say, you know what, I'm just not, I don't seem to have as much interest in that drug anymore. I seem to be able to back off. And I think it's because, I've just started this class, or, the sun is shining now, it's summer, and it's really lovely outside. And so we go about our lives coming up with reasons why we think things have changed, because it's hard to believe that this little tiny medicine of Vena sativa, whether it's in tincture form or in homeopathic dilution form or potentized form, could possibly be the answer. And then someone asked, how often do we use it? And Angela rightly says, until much improved. And when the person is much improved and you stop using the medicine and then it comes back again, and now the craving, now the desire, you see the action coming in again, that's when we know to start up again on the medicine. It could be months. Okay. What else do we have? Any other questions? We've got 2 minutes left. I like to get my remedies from Helios because a dose is 1 pellet. At Boron's pellet, 5 pellets for a dose. Okay? And Highland cell salts say to take 1 pill 3 times per day is that 1 dose. Whatever they tell you is a dose, that is a dose. So whether they say 5 pellets or 1 pellet or 5 drops or 10 drops, they are telling you what comprises a dose. I'm not telling you what comprises a dose, how many pills it is. Why? Because I don't know what pharmacy you're using. So you have to follow what the pharmacy tells us, okay? Yes, silica for cracks in nails, silica for hair problems and nails that are peeling and cracking easily. Okay. Okay. Does Helios offer a discount for Joette students? No, it does not. You get a discount by buying from Boron by simply going to boron.usa if you're in the U.S., and then ordering all of your items. And then at the end, when you check out, it has a little box and it says code, and you just put my first name, Joette, Joette. And I do not have an affiliate program with them, my friends. I do not get kickbacks. I say that time and again. I want you to understand, in most situations, if you were to put someone's name in there, it's going to give them a kickback, and I have arranged with them that it should not. Instead, it gives you a discount. Okay. Oh, it's wonderful. Wonderful. It's great to see you all. My friends, it's been a wonderful night, and we will carry on next week. I am going to be, we may take a little hiatus from addictions next week, but we're going to carry on. Let's see. If you have a dental implant, can you use silica? And so this is my answer to that. I have never seen that happen. But people tell me that they thought it was happening by using silica. So what I say is, if you feel as though silica is a good medicine, then you use it. And if you feel something happening with an implant, any sensation that's new to you, you simply stop. It's not going to, take silica and then bam, pop right out. Okay, my friends, it's wonderful to see you all. Thank you for joining me. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Bye now.
With our homeopathic protocols, you learn all your remedies. My family needs a me, so I must know our remedies. How much to take, how often to treat, and when to stop, and when to repeat. With our homeopathic protocols, you learn all your remedies. Athusa, no dairy, it's elementary. With arnica head, arsenica fed, spigelia slither, orms from wither, no more. My family needs a me, so I improve my memory. Not only the rems, but how often to treat, and when to stop, and when to repeat. With your homeopathic protocols, learn all your remedies. Bella so red and arnica head, drosera bark, ignatia dark, source of frigid and cuprum to rigid, and crude itches, calica bonicum, let it melt on your gumbo, vista wheat are some great ways to treat yellow. La 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 la, homeopathic protocols, learn all your remedies. With our homeopathic protocols, you learn all your remedies. My family needs a me, so I must know our remedies. How much to take, how often to treat, and when to stop, and when to repeat. With our homeopathic protocols, you learn all your remedies. Athusa, no dairy, it's elementary. With arnica head, arsenica fed, spigelia slither, orms from wither, no more. My family needs a me, so I improve my memory. Not only the rems, but how often to treat, and when to stop, and when to repeat. With your homeopathic protocols, learn all your remedies. Bella so red and arnica head, drosera bark, ignatia dark, source of frigid and cuprum to rigid, and crude itches, calica bonicum, let it melt on your gumbo, vista wheat are some great ways to treat yellow. La 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 la, homeopathic protocols, learn all your remedies.